Hi everyone, this is Todd from Fitness. I'm here showing you another video of some exercises that you can do at home during this pandemic. So today it's going to be an individual workout that you can do while you're self-isolating. And it's going to be full body exercises that we're going to be doing today, and a great way to kind of just get you moving a little bit more when you are self-isolating. Okay, and so today we are going to need a little bit of equipment. So what I'm using today it's just going to be a backpack full of some textbooks is usually a good option, or if you have like a duffel bag or something you can kind of zip up to make sure stuff stays inside and it's not rambling around as much is ideal when we're doing some of these exercises, okay? Yeah, that's it. Alright, so I got my backpack full of my textbooks. It's loaded pretty heavy. So today we're going to start first with the goblet squat. That you can do with just the backpack, okay? My backpack's got this nice little handle up top you can use. You can also kind of hold it underneath here, or even just like right around your body is good as well too, just to add a little bit of extra load or weight, that's fine as well, okay? So, I'm just gonna hold it up top. So for a goblet squat, it's essentially just doing a squat with a little bit extra weight in the front, okay? Now what you wanna do is you wanna have your feet shoulder width apart, okay? And the key with this movement is always starts and ends with the hips, okay? And keep the feet flat on the ground. So what you want to think about, it's like you're sitting back into a chair is a good way to think about the starting movement. So you just kind of bring those hips back, bend down, and then push through those feet, kind of squeeze your bum on the way up, and bring those hips forward, okay? So I'll show you a couple in this angle, and then I'll show you a few in an opposite direction as well too, so you get a couple views, okay? The other view is from the side. Shoulder width apart again for those legs. Hips come back, bend those knees, push through those feet, kind of squeeze your bum and bring the hips forward. So you really want to watch to make sure that you're not moving through your back. You'll be moving through your hips for this one, okay? So that's kind of the movement that we're looking for. Perfect. Right, so this is the next exercise in the exercise series that we're going to be doing here. So this is a row exercise. So all you need is, again, your weight, which is either a bag or, in this case, I've got my backpack full of those textbooks. And you need something to put your hand onto. So I have this nice bench here that's adjustable, but you can just use like the back of a chair, the back of a couch or counter, whatever you like. The angle changes things a little bit, but the movement is still the same, okay? So this one's really good for your upper back, okay, is what we're trying to really engage a lot more with this one. Your upper back and kind of your lats is what we're trying to hit, okay? So what it looks like the setup is you're going to hold on to your handle of your bag or whatever you're using, and you're going to come into a staggered stance, so 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, kind of bring your chest down. Hand is supported just onto the corner of that chair or that, a couch works pretty good actually for this one. And you're going to have the arm just in front of you just like this, okay? And then the movement is you're actually pulling back towards your hip is what we're looking for this movement, okay? And back down. It's easy just to pull right up and then hike that shoulder, and that's not really great on that upper trap. So you want to keep the shoulder locked down and more pull towards that hip, and you'll feel it quite a bit more in your back. So the goal is to really squeeze with your back muscles to do this movement and not so much through the arms, okay? So that's kind of what we're looking for. And back down. And you want to keep the shoulders aligned too. You want to make sure you're not rotating up too much. You want to keep in this nice kind of forward position. Perfect. All right, so this is the next exercise. So we're going to be doing the shoulder press for this one. So for this, we're going to use is our bag once again, okay? So either that duffel bag or that backpack works quite well. Now this is one too, you want to make sure you have a really good grip on too, because it's where things can kind of shift around in your bag a little bit. So you want to be a little cautious of that as well too, okay? So actually I'm going to hold on to it on the sides here just like this to keep it more in this upright position. If you hold it this way, things tend to shift a bit more. So the backpack's kind of designed to more hold in this position. But if you're using a duffel bag, it might be better to kind of go in this kind of horizontal position. Okay, so play around with it, see what works best for you. So this one we want to do seated, okay, you want kind of a firm chair. I've got this bench here, which is nice, but at home you can just use like a nice, really good firm kitchen chair, works quite well. Somewhere you can keep your feet planted, which is great, okay. So for this one, what we're gonna do is hold the weight kind of almost in front of yourself, kind of at this like 90-degree angle. I'm gonna show you from a couple different angles so you can kind of see that as well too. Okay, so for this first one, I'm gonna get the backpack almost kind of right in front of my face, and then we're just gonna push it overhead and then back down to about that 90, okay? So this is what that kind of looks like. So you're coming up to that 90, and you're pushing up and back down, okay? Back up and down. So that's kind of that movement we're looking for. Now when you're in that upper range here, you want to watch to make sure you're not hiking the shoulders like this, okay? Because that leads to a lot of tension into your neck and upper traps once again. So you want to keep those shoulders down when you come up into that position and not getting into this kind of rotation, that pinching. So really keep those shoulders down, okay? So I'll show you from the side angle. So this is what we're looking for as well. Sitting up nice and straight. Again, starting at that 90, pushing up and back down, okay? Up and down. So that's that position that we're looking for, okay? So this one you can do seated or standing actually. I usually would recommend starting seated. It's a little bit easier to kind of keep your upper back in a better position as well, okay? So that's the shoulder press. All right, so this next exercise is called a split squat, okay? Or another good example is like doing a lunge, okay? So there's a couple, I'll show you a couple different angles so you get to see what that kind of looks like. But the main base of it is you want to make sure that you're standing shoulder width apart for those legs, okay? And you always kind of keep that shoulder width distance between your feet, okay? So I usually like to do a big step forward, so that's what we're going to do. Find that shoulder width apart, big step forward, okay? And you've still got that shoulder width distance between the two, and your back heel comes off the ground, okay? So you're up onto that toe. And then what you want to do is sitting up nice and straight. You imagine there's kind of like a wall right in front of you, and you're sliding down that wall and then back up. And that's kind of that whole movement that we're looking for, okay? And you want to think about equal pressure on both feet. You will feel usually a little bit more through the front, but you want to watch to make sure you're not going through the wall, right? You want to make sure you're not like lunging forward so much because that puts a lot of force through that knee. So try to think about coming straight down and back up, okay? So that's kind of that movement that we're looking for. So that's from that angle. If you're looking from head on here, shoulder width apart, big step forward, up onto that toe, nice and straight, down, back up, okay? Down and up. And I like to kind of allow myself some time to get used to this position so you can kind of find your balance a bit, because it is a bit of balance involved as well too. But that's where that shoulder width apart will help kind of give you that bit more control. So come into that position, find yourself losing your balance, just stop, take a minute to kind of gather that before you start that movement again, okay? Good job. All right, so this last exercise is a really good core exercise that you can do. You can just do it just lying down on the ground is a good starting position. I have this mat that I can have underneath. If you have carpet underneath you, it works pretty good. Just something a little bit of cushion. Just feels a little bit nicer for your back when you're laying down. Yoga mats are great for that as well too, okay? So for this one, there's a couple different variations you can do, so you're in control of how hard it is, okay, which is really good. And yeah, so we'll start kind of going through it here. Okay, so the starting position is just laying down on your back, okay? All right, just like this. And then what you want to do first before you even start to kind of move or do anything is you want to kind of tighten up that core, kind of engage that core a little bit, right? But enough you can keep breathing, right? So you want to keep that support. And then right away, as soon as you kind of engage that core, you'll feel your hips kind of tilt a little bit, which is exactly what we want, okay? Because that will help just engage that core, opposed to things like your low back, which is not what we're trying to do, okay? So you're gonna tighten up that core, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring those knees up to kind of this 90-degree position, is exactly what we're looking for, so that kind of nice 90-degree angle, all right? And then what I like to do for the hands is have the hands just straight up, just like this as well. And so I'll show you a couple different variations here, okay? So this is called a Deadbug pose, okay? It is a really good yoga pose, but it's also great core activation, okay? So what you're gonna do to start is, all you're gonna do is let one heel come down and one arm to come down. But keep that same kind of bend in that knee. Then you're gonna keep that core tight and use that core to kind of curl to bring that leg back up, okay? And then the arm comes back up with it. So what it looks like, coming down, Use that core to curl back up. Okay, alternate, back down, and curl back up. Okay, now if you start to feel it in the low back, that's not what we're trying to do. So that's two different things could be happening there. Could be your position a little bit, okay, and you just have to readjust your position, or it could be your core is getting a bit tired and you just need a bit of a break and bring those feet down just to have that bit of that recovery time and that break. So you'll notice that too if the back starts to arch up quite a lot, that's where you'll start to feel that load in the back. So that's not what we're trying to do. Okay, so we're trying to keep that load right in that core and those abdominals, okay? Another variation of this is same starting position, okay? You can straighten that leg a little bit more and then still use that core to curl back in. So as you straighten that leg, it makes it a lot harder for your core to engage and to control that movement, okay? So that's kind of the next variation, okay? If you want to make it even harder from there, you can do both arms and legs at the same time. Makes it very difficult, okay? So starting position here, down, and then curl back in. Okay, the key is that curl. It's easy to use your legs. Focus that power coming from that core, okay? Straight and curl. Okay, perfect. And curl. Good. All right. Keep up the great work, everybody. All right, so that concludes the self-isolation workout that you can do. So if you have any questions or comments, just please put them below. And if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, please subscribe, and I'll kind of keep trying to make these videos here for you. Well, I've got this really lots of time to do it, which is great, okay? And also too, in terms of like sets and repetitions that you can do for that workout that I just showed you, again, I would start with maybe do like 8 repetitions of each exercise and do 8 of the first exercise, go to the next exercise, do 8, and keep kind of going through. Then after that, like I said, take that kind of 2 to 5 minute break just to recover, and then try going it through that cycle maybe 3 times and just see how that feels. Again, that's a suggestion, right? You can alter it however you like. So you can do more or less repetitions or more cycles through it as well too to make it a little bit more challenging, okay? But yeah, like I said, any comments, please put them below. Yeah, and keep up the great work, everybody. It's looking good. Perfect.